Hey everybody, it's Michael from Replica Air Guns coming at you today with some of my top picks. Every once in a while I put some guns together and talk to you a little bit and show you some of the guns that I like that are some of my preferred guns. Now keep this in mind, if I were to do this video or make this video next week, I might come up with a completely different list of guns because I have a lot of guns that are at the top of my list. And really, it just kind of depends on the day what I'm going to grab, which guns kind of come to mind. But today we're going to show you some of the guns that I think are, definitely favorable in my opinion. You're going to notice that a lot of them are more of the heavy blowback, full blowback guns. It's just because that's what I like. Now, you may not be that interested in blowback guns. You might be more interested in power and CO2 efficiency. And I've made videos about the best gun. I've made a couple of them actually talking about what is the best gun, and that's really an individual thing because everybody has a different sort of idea of what they're looking for. So this video is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to show you my top picks in the categories of BB, pellet, airsoft, and blank. And these are all going to be pistols. Maybe at some point I'll do a rifle one. I don't have as many rifles, but I do have a lot of BB guns. Alright, so first off, let's start with BB guns. They're probably the most popular out of all the replica guns that we sell. Now, not all of these guns are replica, but you'll notice most of them are. So first off, we have this Umarex Smith & Wesson M&P, nicely marked, has all of the licensing on it. A very, very true to scale, true to real life gun. I mean, everything about it is almost as real as you can get, other than that it shoots BBs, right? It has a different mag, different caliber barrel and everything. But looking on the outside and the way the action is and everything, right, let's get this to focus, right? Full blowback. Real nice gun, right? I really like it. Now, I believe this gun's made by KWC, right? So it's a KWC gun. It's just been licensed through Umarex with the Smith & Wesson licensing, so they redistribute it. But that said, being that it's KWC, I just want to show you some other, guns. I mean, I really like the blowback, full blowback KWC guns. And so we have so many to offer you. We've got, of course, the one of my longtime favorites, the SIG. This one's actually a cyber gun, but it's made through KWC and distributed through Cybergun. Full blowback again, beautiful gun. And this one also comes in airsoft. So we'll show you the airsoft one in a second, probably. Oh yeah, here it is, right here. So I will show you other airsoft top picks, but this is definitely an airsoft top pick. The X5, beautiful gun. Some other KWC guns. Again, this one's distributed through Umarex, but it is a KWC gun. I believe there's some CO2 in this one, so we can show you some blowback action, right? Pretty awesome. This one is, your Beretta 92, right, model, and this one's got the nice weathering, aging on it, right? Beautiful gun. And then, of course, we have another KWC, but Umarex distributed pistol, and this is the Colt 1911, right? Camera doesn't want to focus today very well, but we'll get her. Okay, another full blowback pistol, right? Beautiful gun. So realistic looking, these KWC blowback pistols. All right, so moving on, let's talk about some pellet guns. So now this isn't really a replica, but when I'm thinking pellet guns, there's not nearly as many blowback pellet pistols. There's some nice rotary, sort of revolver style pistols out there. And some of these revolvers that I'm going to show you do come in pellet shooting versions as well, so keep that in mind. But I just want to show you this Webley, and this is the Tempest. And this is a nice gun. And the reason I'm bringing this one out and bringing it to attention here, of course, focus, there we go, is that it's just such a cool gun. It's so small for a Springer. It's a spring piston gun, right? I've done reviews on it. So you pull this up, basically you cock it that way, put your 22 caliber pellet in here. And what I like about this gun is it has a nice power to weight to size ratio. You can literally use this for pest control. And so what's kind of nice about it, you'll notice that it's not too big and it's got a lot of power. It doesn't require any CO2. It's accurate. You could use this like in a backpack, take it with you on a hike just in case you get lost. Is my phone pinging? Just in case you were to get lost or something, you'd have something to shoot squirrels with and maybe eat some food if you needed to. But it's just a real nice little pistol. You could use it for pest control around at short range, at least around your house or whatnot. But I wouldn't. I always recommend a higher velocity pellet rifle, something that's going to get out there a bit more range, maybe a bit more accurate. But this is pretty good up close, so if these pests are kind of hanging out close to you and they're not going away, they're eating your garbage or whatever, and you want to get rid of them, then this would do it. 22 caliber, it's traveling, I believe, around 400 plus FPS, so it's got some punch. It's going to knock little critters down, no problem. So that's a cool gun. Other pellet guns that I want to bring to attention. People ask me, what's the best blowback pellet pistol? There's a bunch out there. SIG's just come out with some new ones, and they're really nice too. But this is one of my longtime favorites, the unfocused PX4 Storm. All right, so this is the PX4 Storm blowback pellet pistol. Nice pistol. It's got these rotary style magazines, right, that are common in these blowback pellet pistols. People ask, why isn't the slide lock back? It's really hard to do with the rotary magazine because there's no follower to lock the slide back, and there's no slide catch release on most of these types of blowback pellet pistols. But they've got rifled barrels. They're pretty accurate. They shoot pellets. They generally use a lot of CO2 because it takes more to get those pellets to fly out of that barrel. But this is a really nice pistol. It's pretty good value for the money, and I like that it's got the cutout ejection port too, which not all of these pellet blowbackers do have. Other than this crazy safety on it, this is really true to the real steel version as well. All right, moving on, we have the KJWorks KP11, and this is a 1911 sort of double stack configuration. There we go, and you've got the KJWorks branding on there. It's got a polymer frame, metal slide, heavy blowback action. Like, this is really loud, really, it's just throwing the CO2 out there. This gun has a lot of snap, a lot of kick. It's super loud. It's got decent power. For airsoft, this has got to be one of my favorites. I'm not sure how usable it would be in like a close range type of situation, although you can get a gas mag for it, and because it's double stack, you're going to be able to have no problem shooting all the close to 30 rounds worth of BBs. Plastic airsoft BBs, so the double stack mag with all the extra gas helps out in that department. When they put the CO2 mag in, you've got some pretty decent performance in terms of power, right? So this gun's got some nice power. Really, it's pretty accurate, really loud, lots of kick. For me, this is a fun gun to shoot, so this is one of my favorite airsoft pistols. That said, KWC has lots of those guns. There's SIGs. You can get them all in airsoft versions. You can get the Beretta and the Taurus copies in airsoft as well, so keep that in mind. And of course, we have a whole bunch more KJWorks guns, full blowback airsoft versions. Let's talk a little bit about revolvers. They're kind of in their own category completely, and most of these revolvers I'm going to show you, they do come in airsoft, pellet, and BB versions, or usually they do, so just check for those ones. But I gotta love this Dan Wesson 715. This is such a robust gun. It's got so much weight. It's such a solid pistol. It really feels like you're holding the real steel gun in your hand. It's just so awesome. I mean, really, this gun is just totally cool. So I highly recommend this gun if you're looking for a shell loading revolver. Totally awesome. Again, pellet versions, airsoft versions, and BB versions. If you're interested in more of the classic, the old West type shooter, and that's what I like. I like that in revolvers. They're just fun. Single action guns are just kind of fun to shoot. And you can get these again too in a whole bunch of different versions, right? This is the Colt version, so it's licensed through Umarex. It's the John Wayne Colt version. I believe it's Colt, yeah, Colt licensed and John Wayne licensed. You can get them in different versions as well. Some that aren't licensed, some that are just Colt. Again, this one's John Wayne. Some that shoot steel BB, some that shoot pellets, some that shoot airsoft. But they're all essentially the same gun and just different calibers and different types of barrels, right? So in terms of my favorite revolvers, I'd say it's kind of a split between the Dan Wesson 715 and the Single Action Army revolver that is, again, shell loading as well, right? So you got your shells there. So that's pretty much it. I've gone through some of my top favorites for today. I almost forgot a blanker. I've got a blanker here. We don't sell a lot of blankers in the Canada store, unfortunately. Hard to get blanks, but we do have a collection of ROHM blank pistols. And out of all of them, this is my favorite. This is the RG88, right? It's just a really nice, very high quality blank pistol, and it shoots 9mm blanks, right? So you got your single stack mag, but it's full blowback, obviously, just like the real steel version. It just doesn't shoot any actual ammunition out of it because it's got this little pin, right here that goes down. It's like a rod that goes down through the barrel. It allows gas and whatnot to come out, but it doesn't allow any ammunition of any sort or any projectile to come out of it, other than, you know, maybe little bits of debris, whatever that might be in the blank. So you definitely don't want to put this in anyone's face. Kind of dangerous. Check out my video, Are Blank Guns Dangerous? You'll see that just putting this up to an orange or an apple and letting her go is going to do a ton of damage. So you wouldn't want to do that to your skin or to anybody else, right? So really nice gun. Pretty much all metal with a lot of steel parts in it as well. So that's the ROHM RG88. Really nice gun, and it does field strip as well. Alright, that wraps up some of my favorite BB, airsoft, pellet, and blank guns. Keep in mind we have tons of other great pistols out there. Again, this is just what I happened to pick up that kind of came to mind today. Go check out all of our other products over at ReplicaAirguns.com, where we have our Canada and US stores where we sell air guns, BB guns, pellet guns, blank guns, knives, and other accessories. Alright, thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.